Dice baits may look like a gimmick until you fish them right. The problem is most anglers fish them completely wrong and lose fish or their $20 baits in seconds. Here are the biggest dice bait fishing mistakes plus tips for how to actually fish these unique baits. Our first mistake is not knowing how to fish and present these baits. After hours of testing, my opinion is these baits perform best as a subtle finesse presentation. My two favorite presentations are as a wacky worm replacement or on a drop shot. With the wacky worm alternative, we're targeting a slow drop rate where the appendages flutter on the drop and the angler can pop the bait to entice bites. All you need for this setup is a hook and some way to add weight to our floating bait, which I'll cover how to do shortly. Another incredible way to fish these is on a drop shot rig where you suspend the bait above a weight. What works especially well is the natural buoyancy of the bait will help it float nicely above the drop shot weight. Our second mistake is thinking these things tear like Senkos. They don't. The most common question I see is about dice baits' durability, and it's a fair concern. Most dice baits, like the popular kayak dice, are made of elastomer, which is insanely durable. TPE elastomer stretches like crazy. It is nothing like normal PVC plastics. With these dice baits, you can barely skin hook the bait, and it's unlikely you will lose your bait from the hook ripping out. But here's the catch. A feisty bite from a fish can still slide the dice bait off your hook and lose it that way, which is a huge bummer. Speaking from experience.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay. Did you lose my bait, though? Oh, you lost my bait. No.
A third mistake is not realizing that they float. Most dice baits float right out of the package, which is something savvy anglers can actually use to our advantage. Quick sidebar, here's a clip of me trying to get some B-roll showing that these baits float before I add some weights to it.
Oh.
I couldn't replicate that if I tried. So clearly these could work as a topwater bait, but I find they work best when they just barely sink or they're rigged in a drop shot type rig. The drop shot itself is pretty straightforward. The drop shot weight sits on bottom and your dice bait floats just above it. This is an absolutely killer setup. Also, theoretically, if a fish shakes your dice bait off a drop shot setup, it should float to the surface and you can salvage your bait. Here's a quick question. Why are dice baits so effective? Is it because bass have never seen them, so they're not used to avoiding the baits? Do dice baits imitate something in nature like a dying baitfish or an easy snack? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. For setting up our slow drop wacky worm alternative, we'll dive into mistake 4, which is either not adding weights or doing it the hard way. The most simple way to add a little weight is by shoving a nail weight into the bait, since the nail weight will be mostly hidden. Another option is to shove a cylindrical drop shot weight through the bait. Here's the tip to save you some trouble. These baits come in boxes mounted on a little metal wire. That wire is your free pilot hole. Shove your weights in this hole for an easier rig up. Before we go deeper into dialing in your dice bait fishing, let me show you something that will help a ton of you if you ever struggle with choosing the right bait for the conditions you're fishing. I made something that will genuinely help you catch more fish. It's called my Bass Bait Selector cheat sheet, and it tells you exactly what lure types work best based on water clarity, season, weather, and structure. This is the same system I use every trip, and it eliminates all the guesswork. If you want a copy, you can grab it using the link in the description or in my bio. It's super simple and it'll save you years of trial and error. Mistake 5 is being afraid of big dice baits. Trust me, even small bass will hit a big dice bait. The smaller dice baits work fine, but they are finicky to dial in the drop rate. If your weight overpowers the buoyancy of the bait, it'll bomb straight to bottom and catch fewer fish. The bigger dice baits are much easier to dial in a slow drop rate. For example, this big koi I ended up shoving 3 nail weights in it to get the exact drop rate I wanted. Bigger dice equals more controllable sink rate. And speaking of the bigger dice baits, mistake 6 probably costs people the most fish, and it's using a hook that's the wrong size. It's important that enough of your hook is exposed where it'll actually hook the fish. If the hook is too small or too buried in the bait, you'll have a lot of missed strikes. I had a ton of success using a 1/0 wacky finesse hook. Some people will go even further and add a stinger treble hook to their setup. They'll use the pre-drilled hole in the bait and slide a treble hook into that and then run their main hook through the eye of the treble. Mistake 7 is using the wrong rod, reel, and line. The wrong setup can kill your casting distance and your hookup ratio with these baits. My favorite setup for fishing the small to medium-sized dice baits is a medium light power, fast action spinning rod matched with a 10-pound braid main line to a 10 to 15-pound fluoro leader. This setup was herring up the bass. Before I lost my full cast koi, which is one of the biggest dice baits, I had it rigged up on a medium heavy power bait caster with 17-pound fluoro, and it was casting surprisingly well. It was kind of fun casting a finesse bait on a power fishing setup.
It slurped it. Oh. Oh, that was so cool.
Now, let's rapid fire the mistakes almost everyone makes. Mistake 8 is fishing in the wrong spots. Many pros are using dice baits to snipe fish with live scope out of submerged brush, but you don't need fancy electronics to catch fish on these baits. I had the most success casting up against shallow cover like weed edges, submerged trees, and laydowns. Bass and their prey like cover, so fish near these hiding spots. Mistake 9 is using the wrong colors. My normal advice is to not overthink colors. Have a light color and a darker natural color and try both until you unlock a pattern. My latest session, I was getting bites here and there on the lighter colors, but this green dice ended up outfishing the light colors 5-1. Mistake 10 is using the wrong retrieve. Sometimes the bass like a slow drop, sometimes they like a moving bait. My recommendation from years of experience is to do a combination of both. Cast out and let the bait drop initially. Then, alternate popping the bait with the rod tip hard enough to cause the appendages to flicker in the water and then let the bait drop again. Repeat this. Fishing like this lets you cover a lot of water while presenting the bait in ways desirable to whatever mood the bass are actually in that day. Speaking of covering water, mistake 11 is not moving enough. Some people hear finesse bait and think they need to work the bait in one spot until the bass magically appears. You will catch way more fish if you cover water. After you cast in one spot, the bass will either hit your bait, aren't interested in your bait, or aren't there at all. Actively hunting fish will catch you more fish in a session. A quick commentary on the different brands of dice bait I tested out for the larger sizes. The koike is considered the gold standard right now. It's the most durable and the long appendages look great in the water. I also tested the Yamamoto Uni, which has a more fluttery action in the water due to the shape of the arms. And the third main large dice bait was this Mankai Double Necks. And frankly, they're all made of the tough elastomer material and they all absolutely tore up the bass in the pond I was fishing on. My advice? Grab whichever one is available. At the time of filming this video, these baits are sold out almost everywhere. A quick bonus story about the session that truly sold me on dice bait fishing. I was skeptical trying these strange looking baits, but almost right away, this happened.
Fish right here. It slurped it. Oh.
I saw this fish slurp up my huge dice bait. I didn't hook up, but wow, that was fun. Later on, I cast out, gave my bait time to drop to bottom, and when I reeled up the slack, and this fish launched my $20 koike, but I knew at this point I'd be doing a lot more dice fishing.
Spit it. Oh, you lost my bait. No.
At the end of the day, fuzzy dice baits aren't a gimmick. They're just poorly understood. If you avoid these mistakes, dial in your weight, take advantage of the buoyancy, and actually cover water, you're going to catch fish most anglers never will with these things. And if you want to stop guessing and always have the right bait tied on, check out the Bass Bait Selector linked below and in my bio. And if you want more weird bait breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed. I've got some ridiculous tests coming up you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.